In the lesson today, we are going to take functions. We're going to create a table for that function, and then we're going to use that table to plot points and sketch a picture of the graph. Now there's two ways that you can do this. You can make the table by hand, or you can make the table using the calculator. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to show you how to use the calculator piece in this video, so if you can't follow these 4 steps to make the table, then I would come and see me, or your only other option is to make the table by hand. So first step is we're going to choose 5 x values. I typically pick -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, but I can really pick any points that I want. Once we do that, we're going to plug each of the x values into the function to get the y value, or it's known as the output. Use your calculator to do that. And then step 3, plot the points to create a sketch of the function. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we're going to set up the table. So we'll have our x. We'll have f of x equals 3x minus 1. That's the function. And then we'll have our x comma f of x point, which, remember, is really just x comma y. So this is how you make a table by hand. I first pick an x value, -2. I then use this function to figure out what the output value is. So 3 parentheses -2 minus 1. Now your job is to type this into your calculator and get an answer. If you know how to do it in your head, great, do it in your head. But if not, pick up your calc. When you do that, you get -7 as an answer. Our point would be -2, -7. Done. Now here's the thing, this is very repetitive. We're going to do this 4 more times so that we get a total of 5 points. So -1 is my next x value. I'm going to do 3 times -1 minus 1 equals -4. -1 comma -4 is my second point. 0 is my next x value. So I do 3 times 0 minus 1 equals -1. 0 comma -1. Then I'm going to do 1 and do 3 times 1 minus 1, which is going to equal 2. Gives me 1 comma 2. My last x value is going to be 2 this time. I'm going to do 3 times 2 minus 1, which, let's see, that's going to give me 5. So 2 comma 5. So that's how you make the table by hand. It's very repetitive. You pick x values, plug them in, get your answer. Now we have to graph them. Our first point is we're going to start at 0. We're going to go to -2 on the x and then down to -7 on the y, plot our point. Then we're going to go -1 on the x, -4 on the y. We'll do 0 on the x, -1 on the y, 1 on the x, and 2 on the y-axis, and then 2 to 5. You guys will take your ruler, and you are going to draw a straight line through all your points, and you're going to continue to go through your points until you reach the edge of the coordinate plane. Draw arrows on the end, your graph is done. Okay, here's one with a fraction. Now with a fraction, I would recommend picking numbers that are divisible by the denominator, because that will allow you to not have decimal values. So for instance, if my denominator is 2, I'm going to pick numbers such as 4, 2, 6, 8, 0, -2, things like that. Let's see what we have here. So this is going to be x comma g of x. So I'm going to pick -4 to start, and I'm going to do 1/2 parentheses -4 plus 2. When I do that, I get 0. So -4 comma 0. -2, I'm going to do 1/2 times -2 plus 2, which is going to give me 1. So -2 comma 1. 0 will be my next number. 1/2 times 0 plus 2 is going to give me 2. Positive 2 this time. So 1/2 times 2 plus 2 will be 3. And then my last one will be 4. So 1/2 times 4 plus 2. That's going to give me 4. Have my 5 points. Now I'm going to plot them. So I go to -4 on the x, 0 on the y. I go -2 on the x, 1 y, 0, 2, 2, 3, and then 4, 4. Again, you're going to take your ruler, you're going to draw a straight line through your points, but you're going to go all the way to the outer edge and draw arrows on the end. Last one. So this one involves an exponent. We do the same thing. We're going to pick x's. And again, you can pick any x's you want. And then we're going to pick, or then we're going to plug them in and we're going to find the y values or the outputs. So this would be h of x equals x squared plus 4. And then we have x comma h of x. Let's pick some different values this time. Let's do negative 3. So negative 3, I'm going to have parentheses, negative 3 squared. Notice I put it in parentheses. That's very important. Plus 4. If I do that, I wind up getting 13 as an answer. So negative 3 comma 13. Then I'm going to pick negative 2. And I'll do negative 2 squared plus 4. That's going to be 8. So negative 2 comma 8. Negative 1 is going to be my next x value. So I'm going to have, let's see, negative 1 in parentheses squared plus 4, which is going to be 5. I have 0, so 0 squared plus 4, which gives me 4. And how many points do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, one more. So I'm going to do 1. 1 squared plus 4 is also 5. So 1 comma 5. Now here's the thing. I can make my graph any size that I want. It does not need to be a 10 by 10 grid. If I look at my x values are only going from negative 3 to 1. So I'm actually going to choose to make my own graph, and I'm going to actually do that on the next page. I'm on a blank slate, so give me one moment. All right, so here we are. So here's the table that I just made. I'm going to show you how to make a graph by hand, right, without being given the actual coordinate x and y axis. I see here that I don't have any negatives in my y-axis. So I'm going to choose to not use the negative version of my y-axis, and I'm just going to start at 0. So right here is my 0 point, and then to the right I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in my x's, and then to the left negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 in the negative direction. Now I have to count up to 13. So if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The other thing is I could count by twos. I could do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's a personal preference. I think I'm going to count up by ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So about here, this is my y-axis. I am choosing to not go into the negatives. I don't need to. I don't have any negatives in this column right here. I just need to label this though. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. All right. So let's plot our points. So I'm at negative 3 comma 13. So that's going to be all the way up here. I have negative 2, 8, so that's going to be here. Negative 1, 5, 0, 4, and then 1, 5. So if you notice, what actually happens here is this one curves. It's going to come down, and then it's going to curve back up. And that's okay. That's going to happen when you have an x squared graph. So maybe something we write down is that x squared graphs will be a U-shaped graph. And that's about it.